Hello YouTube. Today I'll be reviewing original skateboards trucks, their Apex 37 and their Manhattan Project 27-inch mini longboard. First I'm going to start off with the original trucks. First I'm going to say that they are pretty quality made. They're very sturdy. They come in 150, 200, and 250 millimeter hangers. They are 2 3/4 inches tall from the base plate to the end of the hanger. That makes them much lower than a regular longboard truck, like a Randall R2 50-degree truck. The main thing that sets them apart from other trucks, obviously, is their spring system that they use instead of rubber bushings. They have 3 different kinds of springs. They have the black, which comes standard. They're the lightest spring. They have red, that's a little stiffer. They kind of suggest those for heavier riders or riders that are kind of new to longboarding and haven't really longboarded before. And then they have the white springs, which are even stiffer, and they say feels more like a standard longboard truck, like an original, or I mean like a Randall R2 50-degree truck. At that point though, I don't know why you would want to go to the white springs, because these trucks are designed for carving. They're not designed for speed or downhill speedboarding. So putting a white spring there, I think, would kind of defeat the purpose of using these, unless you're an extremely heavy rider. Some other things to note about the trucks, they have the 6-hole pattern in them, so they'll fit your new and old school hole patterns. Another thing to note, which is kind of a con of the truck, is this little metal piece here. That kind of goes above the base plate. This holds the kingpin in and helps adjust the spring in this wave cam here. If you're going to mount these flush to a deck, you're either going to have to Dremel out a groove for this piece to fit into so that the truck can sit flush on your deck, or you're going to have to use at least a 3/8 inch riser with kind of a U-shape cut in the top. I've actually done this on another board, and it hasn't presented any problems for me yet, and it still sits much lower to the ground compared to a Randall R2 truck. When you order the trucks themselves, you do have the option to upgrade your springs, and they also come with a set of speed rings on each side of the axle. They come with a 1/2 inch riser with their special little notch cut out of the top, so you can set them up on your board. And it also comes with a set of 8 nuts and bolts. One thing to note is the original bolt on the right here is a little bit thicker than a regular skateboard bolt. You will have to drill out your holes in your deck if you want to use the original bolts, and you'll have to make sure you bring the proper tool if you plan to adjust the nuts, like on site or anything while you're skating. I'm personally using the original bolts if I can, just because they're thicker. They just feel sturdier. They also use an Allen wrench instead of like a Phillips head or a flathead screwdriver. I prefer Allen heads anyway, so it's not really an issue for me. But that's something to keep in mind if you're ordering just the trucks for your deck. With the bolts, I should also mention that the holes in the base plate are also a little bit bigger than a regular truck. So there will be a little bit of wobble and a little bit of misalignment until you get your bolts tightened up. So that's something to keep in mind when you're tightening them up, just to make sure they're sitting on your deck straight.